Greetings, everyone. This is the Truth Seeker. Today's question: what is Zoroastrianism? Well, it really depends on who you're talking to, what materials you're studying, because we could definitely say we know what Zoroastrianism is today. 2012. We could look at the various websites claiming to know, what exactly Zoroastrianism is. What are the tenets of Zoroastrianism? What are the doctrines of Zoroastrianism? What is the creed of Zoroastrianism? But when we begin to look back in history, that's a harder question to answer, because Zoroastrianism, by its very nature, was a evolutionary religion. It was a religion that did not stand still. Pretty much like all religions, changes from period to period, differing ideas. But I think one of the most disturbing concepts, really, is the claim that Zoroastrianism was the first monotheistic religion. We can get into the definition of monotheism, but I've been doing some reading lately, and I've been reading some material on Mary Boyce, who is the, so-called anointed expert of this century, who made the claim that Zoroastrianism was one of the world's oldest religions. Now that tends to be problematic, because in reading Boyce's own material, she admits that there's a prehistory period prior to the emergence of Zoroaster. If we look at Zoroaster appearing sometime around 1500 BCE, later Mary Boyce revises her date to around 1200 BCE. But her main point is in regard to the religious environment in which Zoroaster appeared. And that environment was, in fact, a very polytheistic environment. The claim, of course, being that Zoroaster came into this environment as a religious reformer, that Zoroaster is the one who introduces the concept of monotheism to the Persian culture, if indeed it was Persia, because there is some question as to in regards to where Zoroaster was raised. Where was his land? And so what we have here is a division of the Zoroastrian scriptures into what we call the Gathas, and then we have the younger Avestan portions. And so there has arisen, over the course of the study of Zoroastrianism, over the course of this century, the past couple of centuries, a kind of criticism of the Avestan texts. Now, if you take the Avestan texts as is, and you are a conservative in the sense that there is no division amongst the texts as they have been received and found, that is how they were originally, this is their original form, so to speak, then if you are taking that position, you cannot, you absolutely cannot accept that Zoroastrianism is a monotheistic religion. And the reason for that is in reference to all of the other gods. Now you can get around this by interpreting this as all of these other gods are a manifestation of the one true Lord, Ahura Mazda. However, it's still problematic in that you're still giving worship to these other gods, being, though that they are manifestations of the one true Lord. It is in direct opposition to the Jewish idea of giving worship only to the one true God. And again, this could be like semantics too. I mean, basically, when you get down to it, when we say what is Zoroastrianism today, a lot of individuals would say Zoroastrianism is a monotheistic religion, because they do interpret all of the other gods as a manifestation of the one true Lord. However, was it always that way? And in all likelihood, no. Prior to 1500 BCE, we have Mithra worship. We have worship of Anahita, a water goddess. We have worship of the wind. Fire worship, which was very prevalent. And so the question is, and which cannot be answered fully, is, did these ancient Persians, these ancient peoples from that cultural area, did they have an understanding of monotheism? And it's all what we could term prehistory. I mean, it's non-verifiable. So the question comes up again, what is Zoroastrianism? What was Zoroastrianism? Can Zoroastrianism claim to be the first religion that was a monotheistic religion? Sure, they can claim it, but in reality, if Zoroaster is the founder of, i.e. Zoroastrianism, basically taking the other previous religious beliefs of these other multiple nature gods and then molding it into, a one Lord theory, a one Lord doctrinal idea, then we don't see Zoroastrianism really existing prior to 1500 BCE. Okay, and that's the whole point right there. I mean, the only other way is believing that Zoroaster existed, prehistory, 6000 BCE or something of that nature. But what we do see is basically in the Jewish scriptures an idea of the one Lord creating the heavens and the earth, and this idea is passed on to Noah and his family. Why was Noah righteous in his generation? In all likelihood because he only offered devotion to the one Lord, while the rest of creation, sacrificed to all of the other lesser gods or daemons or demons. Does Judaism, do they deny the existence of the lesser created beings? No, they don't. They say, that the Lord is greatest, because he created all of the other lesser gods, or what we term angels or fallen angels. So, while what we have in Zoroastrianism is a completely different concept. We have, Spenta Menu, Angra Menu, the two twin spirits who were created, on equal terms, that they actually both of them issued forth from the one Lord. So is that a monotheistic idea? No, it's It's actually polytheistic idea. So, at any rate, I continue to bring this up. I bring it up over and over again. I could care less about the influences that Persia and Israel had with one another after, the Babylonian captivity, 600 BCE, going on into the first century AD. Obviously, there were cultural exchanges of different ideas, and it's my belief that a lot of those ideas were the Jewish ideas influencing Zoroastrianism at that period in time. Because honestly, we really can't find archaeological evidence to support the life of Zoroaster, prior to 600, prior to probably even 500 BCE. Can we find evidence of fire temples and other related ceremonies that are within that Zoroastrian religion that were taken from that prehistory that Zoroaster came out of, that morphed into what we call Zoroastrianism? We know that the god Mazda existed prior to Zoroaster, or at least that's what most scholars agree. And so, don't tell me that Zoroastrianism is the oldest religion, okay? Because I've studied the matter, and in all likelihood, it's not. God bless everyone. Peace be with you all, and I look forward to my next video.